So
I was gonna say you never really had to here in Vancouver because you always had Gino or Hunter or Didick. You guys always had some tough guys on the team, and obviously you were more known for your offensive flair with 723 points in 1,195 games.
yeah, and well, when I got here too, I mean, I wasn't real offensive, but like I said, I still like moving the puck, and I think I did a pretty decent job of it. But here, after one injury I had in Hartford where I had a wrist fusion, you had to kind of change your game because you couldn't make the same quick moves as you could have before, and that was fine because like I said, Didick and we played off each other, and we could still move the puck, and I mean, there was a few times I got in a couple scuffles here, but I remember Michel Petit or
yeah.
And but anyway, I mean, it's just fun stuff. By then, I think I was so old, everyone felt sorry for me. Maybe.
I doubt that's the fact. What do you? How do you feel about the new hockey? Like, what do you think of like Quinn Hughes, for instance? We've never kind of seen a defenseman like that here.
Well, obviously he's offensively he's very talented. I remember example, when I was in Winnipeg, all they would say, because I was the only guy that really was offensive there, and so the assistant coach would just, Bill Sutherland, he would just go, "You got to go. You got to get in the play. You got to go. You got to go. You got to go." And so you'd force things, and for a couple of years, you'd be forcing things, and your plus minus would show it, and sure, you'd get a few points here or there, which is great. I mean, because you can counter that, but you can't just get them all in the power play. You have to round out your game where you're not a liability 5-on-5, and not that he is. It's just that there's a lot to learn, and if he could just figure that out, and it's not necessarily his job to figure it out. I think it's there's got to be direction there to maybe hold them back certain times and let them go in certain times. And with skill like that, you do need to let them go, but you got to pick and choose your spots. Because I mean he could be as good as he wants, and like I said, I went through it. My career might not go the same way as his. But I could skate, I could make plays, and if I tried some of the moves he made, I'd be sitting on the bench for about 2 years because the coach would bench it. But now the game has changed. So, but that's it's a wonderful part of the game where guys try drop passes and back passes and all this stuff. Where before, if honestly, and the guys could do it. It wasn't like the guys weren't talented enough. But if you did it and you made a mistake, boy, your ass is going to be cold sitting on the bench.
It's funny you bring up the back pass. I cannot stand that. Like, we do it so much. Like, go forward. Like, you're supposed to be going offensive, not going backwards. I hate it.
Yeah, because you know what? I mean, anyone can cheat on those.
Yeah.
Because it's still 5-on-4 or whatever it might be. If somebody cheats on it, it's going to happen. But you know what? I mean, it works 95% of the time, but it's the timing of the other 5%, and sometimes it bites you in the ass when you try it when you shouldn't. I mean, you look at what happened to Miller this year. I mean, they crucified him for that one play. The guy, as far as I'm concerned, he's the best forward we got.
He's good, for sure.
I shouldn't say the best. I think overall, like best two-way, but as to change the outcome of a game, he's the guy, and people are crucifying him for making a back pass. Sure, I mean, it was bad timing because it looked like everyone was tired except for the other team, and they just read it. That's all. And hey, you make a mistake, you made the mistake. It's not, you don't need to be told.
No, exactly.
Anyway, but yeah, no, it's like I said, it's a very skillful game. But there's look at the playoffs.
Yeah,
a lot of that fancy stuff doesn't show up in the playoffs, and if it does, they're out the first round. So.
Yep.
Well, yeah. I mean, Tampa Bay and Yeah, you got Tampa Bay and the Islanders are both very skilled teams. Those two, as opposed to like the other conference where you got Vegas is big and tough.
Yeah, no, and you're right. But the good thing about those teams, and look at Tampa, the only way they won is they tightened everything up, and they have enough skills when they get the chances. You know, they're going to make the best of them, and they might only be 2 a game, but you got to be prepared. You know, when you do get the chances.
Do you remember the first vinyl record you ever got?
Oh boy. First one.
Or your favorite one?
Oh, you know what? I got I got a lot. I remember. I think the first. Well, I mean, my parents had them. I think it was. It would have been Dean Martin.
Yeah.
I think Elvis Presley was even Crazy Talk back then. Like that was kind of the edgy one. And then I remember for one of my birthdays, I got the Beatles.
Yeah.
I forget which one it was. It was one of their first, like probably in the late '60s. Where we had 5 channels on the radio, AM.
Yeah.
That's all I played. So who else? There was Dean Martin. I know they're country western fans, like Charlie Pride, and I don't even know if Willie Nelson was probably there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Johnny Cash.
Yeah, well, Johnny Cash was always on. But myself, I know when I was, I think the Beatles. I think even a little April Wine. We're kind of in the 70s there. They were that was my first concert. April Wine.
Oh, that's another question I ask sometimes is what was your first concert?
Yeah.
There you go, April Wine.
And you know who opened for him was Trooper.
Wow.
Yeah, it was good. It was I think I was 13.
Good local band.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. No,
here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah. That's your motto, eh, you guys? Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, that's what all my ex-girlfriends would say.
Hey,
go ahead.
Dave, I just want to thank you very much for taking the time for us today and coming on and chatting with us. And we're big fans of you, and we've been big fans of you since you played, and it means a lot to us.
And all the Canuck alumni as well, we are fans of as well. And me personally, I've always been a big fan of you for years. And when we run into you, you're always nothing but nice to us too. So.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'm sorry. I know it took a while to get this organized, and more my fault because I'm kind of computer literate there. So
we figured it out. It's all that matters. So
yeah, no, and anytime, guys. No, I think you guys are doing a good job. Just keeping everything going here and putting the word out. And yeah, no, it's terrific. And look at your man caves there.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. I don't see 44 in there, but whatever. You guys.
Hey, your autographs kept in the book. That way, in case my condo catches fire, I can toss the book off the balcony.
That's the
so
first
I can
one.
save it. The first thing I throw out of here, if the building ever catches or floods or something, I'm throwing my suitcase full of my autographs. So.
Yeah, I know. My jerseys are sold out too. I see.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, Dave. Thanks again.
Looking for the most beers on tap? Great steaks, great staff? Head over to the John B. Pub.
We got the best beers, steaks, chicken wings, nachos in town. Come see us at the John B. Pub.
The John B. Pub, the best bar in town. Come sign up for our football pool. Say Hayes sent you.